Resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is the Week in Geek with David D. Squared, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Broadcasting from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, here's D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth! This is the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I am your host, D Squared. All right, let me lay out the show for you, man. We are guest-free tonight. It seems like everybody's gone to the movies, so even poor Scungy. Scungy's out this week. He's, I don't know, corporate America, man. They own your body and your soul, and so he's stuck working tonight. So I had to dip deep into the bullpen, and so I brought out my original co-host, D Cubed, I guess we'll call you now. My son DJ. What's up, man?
What's up?
So, without much further ado, let's go ahead and just do this. And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, topping us off tonight is, and it's funny because you brought this to my attention. I didn't realize this had already dropped, but the brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem with none other than Seth Rogen at the helm, who gave us such great movies such as Sausage Party, not the 40-Year-Old Virgin, but the other one where like he knocks up some girl and then there's a hurricane and an earthquake and he stops smoking weed and becomes a dad. I don't know. Weird things happen in that movie. But Seth Rogen, I think he actually might hit this one out of the park because this trailer not only kind of sets up the whole movie, it's fun. And man, look, the casting for the voice actors for this is just spot on because what do teenagers' voices do? They crack. Here, take a listen.
Boys, where have you been?
Jackie Chan. That's just awesome.
We're just running errands.
That's it?
Maybe? Look, we're really sorry, Splinter. Some of the guys wanted to get pizza and I tried to talk them out of it.
You ratted us out.
Hey, don't use that word that way.
I mean, it's 2023.
Sorry, Dad.
It's 2023, Mikey. Come on.
Hey, guys, if we weren't monsters that were shunned by society and we could do what we wanted, what would you guys do?
Go to high school?
Maybe get a girlfriend.
Can you imagine that?
Not likely.
Not likely.
This is insane. Turtle, mutant, karate teens. I want to know everything about you. Our dad is definitely not a giant rat. That makes me feel like he's a rat.
He may or may not be a
Police are
rat.
baffled by the recent crime wave led by a superfly.
Nobody's ever
Superfly.
seen his face.
Why?
Because he kills everyone who does.
Cool.
No, not cool.
A bit cool.
Can I kick it?
A bit cool.
Superfly. And then everyone will think we're cool. They'll accept us.
Can I kick it? He's making a deal tonight under the Brooklyn Bridge. Can I kick?
Dude, Superfly, the voice of Superfly. Here he comes.
Y'all some little tortoises, huh?
I can't believe there are other mutants.
You want to roll with us?
Yeah.
Humans are never gonna like us. So we gonna let the mutants rule the earth.
Peoples, they got to go.
Okay, sort of a twist.
We can't stop him.
We gotta try.
6 in the morning, police
At
at
my dough.
My son, Michelangelo, you have heart. Donatello, you have wisdom. Raphael, you have bravery. And Leonardo, honor.
Enough talk. I dream about fighting every night.
You've got a rage problem, right?
snap.
It's not a problem.
I'm so angry. Dude, they drop a cowabunga, bro. They drop a cowabunga.
Classic. That's a classic.
That is Mutant Mayhem coming out August 2nd, the day after my birthday, bro.
That's crazy. And the voice actor that I personally recognize is Nicholas Cantu, who voiced Gumball in The Amazing World of Gumball.
What?
He's great. Yeah, he's Leonardo.
Oh, is that who that is?
Leonardo is Gumball from The Amazing World of Gumball.
I thought I recognized his voice, but freaking Ice Cube, man. I mean, all right, so like I've gotten to interview Ice Mother Bleepin' T and Ice Mother Bleepin' Cube because I got to meet him when he came into town for the Big Three. So I guess all I'm missing now is Vanilla Ice, and I'll have the Ice trilogy. You know,
Ice Trinity, yeah.
Because now I think they've almost all been in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I don't know if Ice-T has been, but the best part was he's like, you got a rage problem. It's not a problem. But the Cowabunga, I mean, one of the things that I really am digging about this whole thing is that, like, I did not particularly care for the revamped live action sort of, you know, when they had all the dots on their faces, you know, the newer ones that came out. It was missing something. It was kind of missing heart. And this one, it feels like the kids sound like kids because their voices are cracking. And then the Cowabunga it didn't feel forced almost. It just felt like it was natural. And I guess the other part is, like, you know, they're struggling as teens. Like, that's what... Look, I got you beat by like 30 years here, son. So one of the things, though, from the cartoon 80s TMNT was that it really was, you know, they were kids and they were trying to fit in, and it's those sort of things that fit today's world where it's just like kids trying to fit in and they're making TikTok videos, throwing ninja stars at watermelons. It's just, I don't know. I got a feeling that this one is probably gonna really be good. But that's just me.
And I feel like something that separates it from the live action one, I think it's going to be a coming of age story for all of them.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's a big hitter for like the emotional side.
Now, dipping back into the nostalgia thing, now Peter Cullen, he has always been the voice of Optimus Prime. And with Rise of the Beast coming out June 9th, so shoot, next weekend, it comes out Thursday, or well, technically air quotes Friday, but you can always buy tickets for Thursdays now. So it's coming out, and they gave this little behind-the-scenes thing with Peter Cullen, and he shares a story about when he actually auditioned to become Optimus freaking Prime. Here, listen to this.
When I voiced Prime for the very first time, I was living with my brother Larry, who was a Marine, and I said, I'm going to an audition. I'm going to be a truck.
A truck?
And he started laughing. He said, a truck? And I said, this is a leader. This is a hero. And his demeanor just changed. He just went, well, Peter, if you're going to be a leader, be strong enough to be gentle. And I got to the audition, and I said, my name is Optimus Prime from the planet Cybertron.
Gives you chills, man.
I had no doubt that this is what a hero should sound like, and I was convinced I was going to get that role. Roll out! Roll out! Transformers Rise of the Beasts has the same ingredients that were there at the beginning.
He's
there's
talking
that
to us
integrity,
now. He's
there's
talk
a
to
dignity,
us, the fans.
there's courage.
Yeah, he does.
It's an honor to be able to do this character. I've talked with a lot of people that grew up with Transformers, and I don't take them for granted. I love you guys.
Yeah! Peter Cullen loves us.
Maybe love him too.
Maybe not you. He might not like you. He loves me. Totally loves me. So
is Optimus Prime.
Yes.
June 9th. I invite you to the movies.
We're invited to the movies.
Personally invited by Optimus Prime himself.
We're invited. Peter Cullen is somebody I have yet to interview. Now, I interviewed Martineo. It's me, Mario. The real voice of Mario, Martineo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, we were in Dallas, and it was cool. So we interviewed him. But, yeah, Peter Cullen, that's another bucket list of mine that I need to get in touch with him at some way, somehow. But what's funny, though, is like later on tonight, we're going to review some movies, though, because like I saw this trailer again for Rise of the Beast at the movies. I don't want to like Transformers because like the first one let me down so hardcore. The whole Witwicky crap. I mean, it was just so dumb. I mean, you know, like the Transformers didn't look like Transformers, and now they've figured out that we like the way the robots look. Stop messing their faces up, and and Michael Bay with all the big explosions. I didn't know what the hell was going on half the time. So like the first few were not very good. I mean, and then when you got like the one where the Decepticon is a woman and then she transforms into a robot from a human. Like, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like he got tipped off because he's making out with a girl and she starts leaking oil. I'm like, seriously? That's where we've gone now? That's where we're at, Transformers? But I watched the trailer, and all of a sudden, like, I'm kind of psyched for this movie because, A, it's hitting the nostalgia again. They're going back in time for some weird reason in 1984, but the robots look like the robots. RC actually turns into a pink robot, but, you know, like, she was a pink weird pickup truck in the Transformers animated movie. If you've seen that, right? I made you watch it, but I think you might not remember it much.
I was probably too young to remember it. I remember watching it over and over again, though.
You're going to have to watch it again because, like I didn't get the feeling I got from that, but I kind of had the feeling where it's just like it looks fun. It just looks fun. I guess that's where I'm going to leave it at that. It just looks fun to me. So, all right, moving on. Now, look, one of the things that in Top Nerd News, still the writer's strike is going on. Still, nothing new is coming out. And it's cost me a piece of my soul, son. The Winchesters that's been on the CW, their first season. I've actually been watching it on the CW app on my Xbox, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's a prequel series, and it's run by Jensen Ackles, who played Dean Winchester in the Supernatural series. Well, after all these attempts to kill the Winchesters through demons and all sorts of other, world apocalypses, where the devil failed, Hollywood succeeded. So apparently, because of the writer's strike and the CW has sold out, and there's the writer's strike, and with them closing up shop, CW is now looking for unscripted live shows. So what does that mean for scripted shows? They don't want to touch them right now because they don't know when production will start. So they're working on next season's lineup. So that means a lot of scripted shows, if they're not already sort of ready to go, they're going in the bin. Now, the other thing is that they tried to shop it around to Netflix. Netflix has all 15 seasons of Supernatural streaming right now. So you'd think it would be a perfect fit there. Netflix didn't want to pick it up. Amazon also is the home studio for the Ackles. Jensen Ackles and his wife, Danielle, have a production studio that they produce the Winchesters from, and it's sponsored by Amazon. Amazon pays them. Amazon didn't pick it up. So now they're SOL. They are out of luck, and the Winchesters are officially dead, and it hurts my heart, man. We named your brother after him, man. He's Dean Winchester. But, that is life, my son. Alas, that is it. All right, so look, when we come back, we got to talk some movies. You got to see Spider Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
I got to see Guardians of the Galaxy finally. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but also we got some movie prop stuff going on. Like if you're not aware, they're having a movie memorabilia props auction coming up June 26th, 27th, 28th. And as we were getting ready for the show, we're looking through all the stuff. And if you want a piece of Star Wars history, say you want a piece of the Death Star, or maybe you just want a piece of rock from the old planet of Alderaan, you can have it. All that and more coming up right here on The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeartRadio.
Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big day. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Serving the Louisiana hobby and games community for over 12 years, Gopher Games has prided itself on offering the very best in personalized customer service, unique experience-based events, and premium amenities for our Gopher Academy members, such as after-hours private gaming space, full immersion RPG room, rotating board game library, and coming soon a video game arcade. So join the Gopher community at 4953 West Napoleon Avenue. For more info, go to gophergamesnola.com or the Gopher Discord. Gopher Games, where you got game.
Today, 4.6 million children across the U.S. live in homes with guns that are loaded and unlocked, and over 3,500 children gain access to a firearm and shoot either themselves or someone else, sometimes fatally. But we have the power to prevent tragedies like these from happening. It's our responsibility to make sure guns are securely stored and inaccessible to kids. Be smart and help keep kids safe. Learn more at chinola.org/besmart.
Now, from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Optimus Prime, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Autobots, transform and roll out.
Welcome back in to The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, and that was not Peter Cullen, DJ. That was actually voice actor John Bailey, who does I suck at my job sometimes.
Really bad at your job.
Shut up.
We've known this.
It's the real reviews or whatever, where like do this one next. Like it's oh my god. You know what I'm talking about. I just can't pronounce anything. Whatever, It doesn't matter. All right, so as always, we want to strongly urge you to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and the Instagrams, The Week in Geek. Now, you can hear this show a plethora of ways, El Guapo. You can hear us on Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify. We got a YouTube channel for some ridiculous reason. Also, the iHeartRadio app. The iHeartRadio app, you can listen to old episodes, and you can hit that little red microphone button and you can leave us a 30-second message. 30-second message is on whatever you want. So, like, just hit that little red microphone button.
Well, hello there.
And you too can be a part of the show. All right, moving on. We got to do some movie reviews, DJ, because you got to go out this weekend and check out Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, and then I got to finally go out and see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which really felt like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie to me, because there was a lot of, like,
anthropomorphic.
There you go.
There you go.
You're teaching me
Got
words. Anthropomorphic characters in there, and then it had like a Pee-wee's Playhouse vibe where it's like, we gotta rescue all the animals. Sorry, there was Pee-wee's Big Top, whatever it was. All right, so let's talk about Spider-Man, because really, the writer's strike, which we were just talking about the last segment, though, Spider-Man 4 is canceled, right? Like that. Apparently, the writer's strike...
Delayed.
It's delayed. Okay, so it's not canceled. Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland says it's definitely still happening. And when they were speaking to one of the producers, she said it's just delayed because they stand in support of the writer's strike. Now, that's a movie producer saying that, so they're lying through their teeth.
I mean,
she's a liar. So whatever she's saying, she's a liar. We stand in solidarity with the writers, but don't pay those cheeky little monkeys. They don't deserve any money.
I mean, I hope Spider-Man 4 is coming out with the new suit at the end of the last movie, and then with Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That mustard suit though, it's so awful.
They gotta update it. They're gonna.
I don't know what's going on, the whole She-Hulk thing, but I'm just glad they brought them back. At least they brought back, Kingpin in the Hawkeye series, or the Kate Bishop series, whichever we want to call it. All right, so Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Across the
Spider-Verse.
Beyond is the third one.
All right, so first question for you: how many Spider-Men were in this movie?
Let me count my fingers real quick.
250.
Too many. No, not enough. There were a lot, though.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so spoiler-free-ish, though. I mean, what was your vibe? What was your take from the movie, man?
It was great. I mean, I didn't expect, from the trailers, how they were going to get, in the trailers it shows off that Spider-Man 2099 is, going to probably be the bad guy. But,
right?
Why is everybody chasing Miles?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
I'm not going to say why it makes sense, but it makes sense.
Well, I mean, I know I saw a bunch of stuff in the trailers about how, look, I write my own story. Because, I mean, Spider-Man's story is always tragic. He loses Uncle Ben, and then, in the reboot series or the second reboot, he loses Gwen Stacy. They always lose somebody. Mm-hmm. And so then he loses Aunt May. Tom Holland loses Aunt May. And, it's... I love how they can always take Spider-Man and somehow manage to refresh him. And when you see, if you've ever picked up a comic book, that Spider-Man has been going on for so long, I mean, the poor dude must be dumb as rocks because he's still in high school after 40 some odd years, I mean, how does the dude still in high school? But they refresh it every time. And then I think... I got to ask you this. Spoil this for me. I don't care. Is the Spider-Man that's made of 1,000 spiders stuck in a spider suit in it?
Unfortunately not.
No, that's a nastiest.
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh no, there is a Spider-Man variant who is just like a couple thousand spiders crammed into a spider suit.
That is horrifying.
It is exactly horrifying. So Scungy, needless to say, has a fear of spiders. So I always like to show him that picture. Yes, yes. All right. So I mean, so it was a good movie. You said it was kind of like organic.
It felt great. Like it was a very diverse movie, but it felt natural.
Right.
It felt natural that there was every kind of person you could think of. There was Spider-Man form.
Nice. So, all right. Well, we'll have to spoil it later, but we are going to go ahead and spoil Guardians of the Galaxy. There's not a whole lot to spoil about the movie. I mean, one of the biggest things, and this is, I guess, a spoiler per se, is that, I honestly thought somebody was going to die. I didn't know. I thought either Peter Quill, Star-Lord, or Rocket Raccoon was going to die. And I even told Dean, because, I'm going to the movie, he's 10. I'm like, hey, man, prep yourself. Bring
some tissues.
It could be bad. I'll grab some extra napkins. And so what ends up happening, like in the opening scene, I didn't pull the clip, DJ. Damn it to hell. The dummy of Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. They had a dummy.
It was like 35 pounds or something, so they could carry it.
And so, James Gunn had it in his office, and people were put off or disturbed by it, but he's just like, people would come in and scream. And Chris Pratt's like, come in what? Come in and scream, you idiot. Chris Pratt is an idiot, and I love him. He's always on.
He is a gem.
Dude, like when we went to go ride the Velocicoaster in freaking Universal Studios, even the half-baked, stupid, sideshow they have
on the TV screens.
On the TV screens with him going, hey, I told you people not to get on the coaster. You're going to lose an arm. Like, he's just selling it the whole time. He goes, you want to die? Get on the coaster. Whatever. I don't care. I mean, he's always on. But this movie, I was also impressed by his acting prowess, because when he starts screaming when he thinks Rocket Raccoon is dead, that actually brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, oh, bruh, because I didn't think Rocket was going to die, but for that split second, Chris Pratt had me fooled, where I'm going like, oh, bruh.
Wow, he actually plucked your heartstring? That's crazy.
He did. I only got one, man. So, I mean, they got some accurate fingers, man. But I think the other big part was the Gamora thing, because that's why he was drunk and passed out, and they made a dummy of him, because, his little heart is broken because Gamora, ain't there. And this is another funny part. Look, about movies in general, there's always usually a love interest, right? Every movie, there's always some sort of love interest. And Spider-Man, it's a Spider-Gwen, or what? He's got a crush on her. But in this one, it's the whole Gamora thing, but they actually, there was no sort of like, the romance wasn't the part of the picture. Like, it was just sort of a sidebar story, because then I even thought he might try to put him together with the cyborg chick,
Nebula.
Nebula. I was just going, I don't know how that would work, but
at the end I was like, wait, hold on, is Peter and Nebula gonna get together?
Right, because they're giving the side eye to each other. But I guess the big spoiler part of it is that the Guardians of the Galaxy, air quote, are no more, because this iteration is gone. And one of the things I loved at the end credits was Rocket is now in charge. You got Adam Warlock.
I loved him. He was hilarious. Don't be rash.
Don't be rash. I was like, I'll kill this stupid thing. Don't be rash.
My favorite clip in the entire movie.
Well, and it's funny, though, because I didn't understand who or what he was at first. And they did a good job of explaining that basically he's a stunted child. They pulled him out of the cocoon too early.
And people were complaining that he wasn't comic accurate, but he's literally like 3 days old.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what are you going to do with that?
Look, that's the thing. None of the movies are comic accurate, so what the hell are they complaining about? People want to complain, man. People are complainers. So I think that was fun, because then at the end, you've got they're not gone, and then Groot looks like a freaking he looked like a Godzilla, man. Like some they got to stop feeding Groot whatever fertilizer they're giving him, because he just got huge. He's all swole. But that was really about it. I liked how they ended that the Guardians of the Galaxy, because it was a final farewell, kind of
nice
like a
bow on the Guardians story arc.
Yeah, they're like, okay, bye. We had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Because then at the end, they even had a Stan Lee homage, because they're putting all the kind of like you would put a scrapbook together. It's just pictures of all of them, either on screen or off screen. And then you got Stan Lee and Dean, God bless his soul. He's like, oh, well, Stan Lee didn't show up in this movie. I'm like, because he's dead. He's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. That's why that's why his picture's in there. So that was Guardians of the Galaxy. Look. Shoot, we got to hit another break. But when we come back, we got to talk some of the prop stuff. But also, dude, there were so many people at the movies. I've never seen. Oh, my goodness, it was packed. COVID is over, and now apparently, people are going back to the movies, and actually, I had to stand in line to pee, and I think that's the gist of it. I'm more upset that I had to stand in line to pee. That's it's the small
completely
things.
Understandable.
Really, I mean, I just want to go watch the movie, but every movie was kind of timed out so that everybody's coming out at the same time, and it's all like everybody going straight to the bathroom. Come on, man. Either build more bathrooms, AMC, or, I don't know, stagger the movie time. Something like that. All right, this is The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeartRadio. Chris Pratt, Jurassic Park. Woo. Dominion. Oh, God, they need to stop with that stuff. All right, this is The Week in Geek. We'll be right back. Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their text, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender benderer, the got-a-ticketer, or, worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Pay attention or pay the price. You drive, you text, you pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Now, from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Hello, this is Seb Aurelios from Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to The Week in Geek. Stay tuned, otherwise I'm gonna bash you like I bash those bucketheads.
Welcome back in to The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. That was Zeb Aurelios. Steve Bloom, he wished you happy birthday.
He did.
You lucky
I love him.
He is a fan favorite at a lot of conventions. He's coming up at a lot of conventions. Actually, sidebar, we've got a few conventions coming up. Like June is sort of light, but July 13th or 12th, 13th, 14th, something like that. Over there in Mobile, they're going to have a brand new con, Azalea City Con. And then after that, they've got another one. Shoot, man, like I got it all on my phone. We're gonna have to jump into that at some point because conventions are coming back, and it's kind of like the whole movie theater experience. Now people are coming back out, people are doing things again, and it's absolutely wonderful. And but we still have online auctions though. Online auctions are still happening, and what's funny is we were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you want the mask for Star-Lord, his little mask, which he didn't even really pop on in this movie, I don't think.
No, yeah, it was off almost the entire movie.
Yeah. So it's up for sale June 26th and the 27th over there at the Prop House. They are now taking bids for memorabilia. And the messed up part is it's not just junk. There are so many things that are in this. There's over 60 pages. You and I think we went through all 60 at some point.
Something like that, yeah.
We went through most of them. And some of the big ones, though, is just like they've got a lot of the Batman stuff.
Yeah, the Bat Pod from The Dark Knight.
And that's starting at, what, 50K?
No, it's more than that.
No, 200K. 200K
yeah.
is for the Bat Pod.
That's lowballing by a lot.
Right? Well, so you've got a piece of Alderaan. Now, that one, I think that was going for like...
That's hilarious.
It was like $200. It was the debris.
It was like 2,000 or something.
2,000. I think...
You gotta add zeros, Dad. Come on.
Yeah, most of the stuff is pretty pricey. And you're like, that's right. There was 3 Yoda action figures at $200 a pop.
They had C-3PO's left foot. We gotta get it. Come on.
C-3PO's left foot. So many wonderful things, but like a piece of the Death Star from the Trench Run. So I guess, you could kind of like maybe have revenge. You get a piece of that Death Star and then just throw the Alderaan rock at it. Here, take that. That's for killing all these voices screaming out at once and suddenly silenced. But then you've got freaking...
Biff
Tannen.
They have a whole puppet, life-size puppet of Biff from Back to the Future for, I'm guessing, some stunt. You can just buy it.
Well, so it's Biff from 3 because they have the Sportsman's Almanac, but it's old man Biff because remember when he falls out and he hurts himself and he hits himself in the cane?
Oh, yeah.
And he falls down and he's in the alleyway and he's like, oh. Well, that's when he goes back in time and gives him the almanac, and then you got the Biffco and all that fun stuff. God, that was a great series. But sidebar, I want to have Biff Tannen. I want old man Biff in the studio. I feel just chilling. I mean, we could just have Biff in there, and he was actually within our price range, like $1,500 for Biff Tannen. I mean, we could start a GoFundMe, or just pass around a couple of cups when we go to some of these cons or movies. Hey, support the Biff Tannen Fund. We could just call it the Biffco needs a new mascot. I don't know. We'll come up with something. We can get that. But then they got the almanac, but also Bruce Campbell. This is a fun sidebar before we get into that, though, is that you've never seen Bubba Hotep? That was Bruce Campbell. He basically played Elvis. If he'd have lived, then he would have been in a retirement home. What if Elvis had to fight a mummy in his old age at the old folks' home? Makes no sense, right? But that's Bruce Campbell for you. It was a great movie. It was a great, awful movie. Apparently, they had a sequel in store, and we have not gotten it. Paul Giamatti was supposed to be his general manager in the second flick. It was supposed to be called Bubba Nosferatu, and it was Curse of the She-Vampires. So he'd have been fighting, I don't know, geriatric vampires? I don't know. Who knows what goes on to the half-baked mind of Bruce Campbell sometimes. But we could have had that. But Army of Darkness, though, the Deadites, apparently they're selling pieces of history from that, like his hand. Was that from Evil Dead 2?
That was from those Ash vs. Evil Dead, the show.
Oh, the show?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, his hand came back? His hand got like a whole cameo?
I forgot. I haven't watched that show in years.
Yeah, like I watched the first season, and it was on Stars. It's so funny. I saw a clip of Bruce Campbell. He dropped
I know
the
exactly what you're talking about.
And he goes, yeah, I got this great show. Yeah, y'all should make a show. He goes, we did. It's on Stars. What the hell is Stars? And so people pirated copies of it.
And then when it got moved to Netflix, like, you made a new show? Nope.
No,
it's been out.
It's
just on Stars.
For a year. What's Stars? Poor bastard. But they have a Deadite puppet,
entire puppet.
Accurate. Like the whole puppet. One of the best. I've seen Army of Darkness at least 20 times, and one of the best part is when you see the marching Deadite army, you can see like the way that they set up the shot, that is like a piece of wood, and you can see the legs of the skeletons going up and down, almost like the dolly is pulling them. And then they've got guys, it looks like they're holding them in black suits or green suits.
Sticks.
And down sticks and just ding, ding, ding. So this Deadite we can get was from the movie, so we can give Biff Tannen a buddy.
Oh, real?
Biff Tannen and a Deadite hanging out in the studio.
They'd be best friends.
They would make fast friends, and then they would just be BBFs forever in the studio.
Forever.
And he's like $1,500 too, right? Or maybe that was like
there.
$1,000. I think that one was actually cheaper. I don't know why Biff Tannen it was more expensive than a Deadite, but I guess anybody can make a skeleton puppet. Maybe. But has it been an Army of Darkness? I don't think so. Now, it's got something for everybody, though. They have a TARDIS. For Doctor Who fans, and then they have all these Batman things. We did our due diligence, y'all. We looked for the Batnip, and it was not in there.
Nowhere to be found.
No, they had what? Robin's.
They had Robin's, like, whatever, his Batarang, whatever you call it.
Yeah, his Robin.
What's it called, like a wingding or something? I don't know. That's what it's called.
My ding-a-ling, oh my. So then they had Cobblepot for mayor, the poster. They had all kinds of
They had
cool...
the original 89 Batman suit and a Batman Returns suit, I think.
Oh, man. But then Breaking Bad, they had Walter's...
Oh, yeah, that his entire actual costume. They had the gas mask and they had the hazmat suit.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. All right, so you've still got time. If you've got a lot of money that you don't mind spending, well, yeah, there's something for everyone at thepropstore.com. Go ahead and check that out. All right. One of the things that we need to talk about before we wrap up tonight's show is that E3 would have been going on next week or a week and a half from now. It would have been June 13th through the 16th. And if you don't know what E3 is, it has perennially been the big showcase for every brand new game that's coming out. You would have Microsoft there. You'd have Xbox, PlayStation, Sony. Everybody would be out there. Bethesda. They would make a big production. Like one year for like Fallout 76, right? They had like a huge like layout like you were in a vault. I mean, like
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was
major
crazy.
Productions. And what it used to be was it was industry people only. It was the E3 conference, not convention. Conference, and there is a distinction.
Invitational.
Yes, and you had to be in the industry to go there. Well, I guess last year after the COVID lockdown, they were like, okay, everybody's invited. Now, after 2 years of lockdown, though, a lot of these companies had gone and just started doing their own streaming events, making big to do of their own stuff and not attending the events. And I think now there's a possibility that E3, that they might not even have an E3 next year because, a lot of these companies have pulled out so far.
I mean, look, last year, but even before anything got canceled, PlayStation dropped out last year. I feel like that kind of sparked everybody being like, I'm not sure about this E3 thing anymore.
Well, and you got Nintendo who like...
Yeah, they've got their Nintendo Directs now, which have been going great. And then, again, with PlayStation...
PlayStation just last week,
they got their PlayStation Directs or whatever.
Right, and so... well, that's something that I really kind of wanted to have Scungy on to talk about because, one of the memes that's been floating around is basically PlayStation going like, we're always on the cutting edge of creativity, and it's basically a picture of a Wii U that just says Sony spelled Sonee, and apparently everybody's just saying it's just a Wii U, but with a Sony logo slapped on it. So I am curious as to what that is, but PlayStation, they've sort of done their own thing. Everybody's been doing their own thing.
I mean, especially with the Spider-Man and the Assassin's Creed. I mean, they announced all that by themselves.
Right.
No E3, no big event, just state of play.
Well, and it's funny too because last week I played the Mirage trailer, and it's funny because oh my God, look, you weren't here last week with me. But when you hear the Mirage trailer, the lady who's trying to bring him into the Hidden Ones, she sounds like Roz. She sounds like always watching. I think she's had like 30 Marlboros a day or maybe 30 Marlboros a minute. But that they're showcasing their own stuff. They can do it on their own time. Now, here's my question, and here's what I think the problem is, though, with that, is that while, yes, they get to show a spotlight on themselves, I don't think the cachet is there. I don't think the factor and the excitement is there on a random-ass Tuesday that they put out, hey, we got a brand new trailer, make sure you lock it in and go to Sony.com and whatever crap they're doing on social media feeds. The build-up is not the same as to go to an event and kind of immerse yourself into it. What?
I mean, the thing is about that, though, is that with the Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild game, they didn't have any sort of event for that before.
Right.
And you've seen how big that's gotten, right?
Well, that's because people are awful and they're killing all those poor little Krokos guys, and
the Koroks.
Yeah, the Koroks. They're crucifying.
It's deserved. If you play the game, you understand.
Okay, are they really that bad?
Oh my gosh, they are awful. In the first game, there were 900 that you had to do.
Jesus. So
worse than Riddler trophies.
Oh wow.
Worse.
The Riddler trophies were
yeah,
the
so you get that one.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Now I understand where you're coming from. All right, well, maybe they did deserve all the torture they got. All right, but so, but I feel like the one sort of just the one-offs that they're doing where it's like, hey, we got because like Star Wars Celebration, when you have, Disney's big D3 events where they're showing all the stuff that they got on Disney. Now, Disney's got a whole lot of stuff. I mean, Disney can do their own thing. But when you're looking at Xbox, who has a pretty bad track record as of right now, with Redfall being a turd burger.
Understatement.
And then I don't know what's up with Gollum. Apparently Gollum is a whole turd show. There's a lot of issues that they're having with these games. And you and I were kind of talking about this before the show, where like they're putting out these games and you're buying a disc and you still have to put in the disc, and then you got to sit there and make sure you're connected to the internet to download the other half.
And that's because they try to rush out the games, and they print the disc before the game is done. And then they work on the game after the discs are already printed.
Right.
And then you got to update it because they worked on it after it's printed.
And if they have an E3, and this is what I'm getting at, if they have like an E3 thing where it's like, here's your freaking deadline. We're planning something huge. You've got a year right now, okay? You let us know 6 months in advance that you can't get this crap from concept to creation to market. If you can't get that done, let us know, because E3 sort of puts it a spotlight. It doesn't have to be E3. If they've got a problem with the people who put on that event, I don't know if that's what the issue is. I'm just spitballing here. But if you have a marquee event where it's like, here's what we're doing, we're putting on a big show, and then you make it exclusive again. Look, you just don't let any Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street come on in. No, you have to be in the industry. You have to be someone with a connection to that to get there, and that way it becomes exclusive. It becomes a wanted thing that people are like, man, I wish I could be at this event. Like the Hall H of San Diego Comic-Con. Everybody always wants to be there. And with COVID, Hall H lost a little bit of its cachet, but it's all coming back now because people are coming back. And I think that's what I'm getting to, where like this E3, doing it just on the internet and not having a human component does not cut it, because who plays games, dude?
Humans.
There we go. And you need those humans to give their human bucks so they can get the game. And I'm tired of getting half a game with my human bucks. I worked a lot of hard human hours in this human world, so give me a real game. That's all. I'm just saying it works for deadlines, cachet, I think. And if E3 does go away, I think we'll see this continued spiral of crap that we're getting right now with Redfall and these half-assed games that they're cranking out. And I don't know, you gave me a stat with Nintendo, who actually finishes their freaking games.
Oh, yeah, Nintendo with Tears of the Kingdom. Didn't it sell, 10 million copies in its first weekend?
Right, 10 million.
Where Breath of the Wild, in total, sold 30 million.
In what, 3 days?
No, entirety.
Oh, in entirety. Oh, and the new one.
In 2 days, Tears of the Kingdom sold a third of the first game. 2 days.
The total sales. And that came out in 2017.
And that's what happens when you actually, work on a game for its entirety and finish a released product. Give a released product finished.
You know what? Maybe it's just because Nintendo's Japanese. We've never picked up their work ethic. I'm throwing crap at us, America. All right, come on. I don't know what's going on.
CD Projekt Red should take a few notes off Nintendo. I'll say that much. Ooh. With Cyberpunk. So I had to put that out there.
See, look, Scungy and I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, where it's just like some of these games that they fix, where you get one chance to make a first impression. You screw up these games, I don't care anymore. Cyberpunk 2099, I don't care if it comes out and they offer me a free copy and we fixed everything and it's great, and Keanu Reeves will come over and bring a dozen donuts to your door if you buy this copy. Nah, I don't play that crappy ass game. And that's the problem, because you can't convince anybody that you've made a good game after you've already delivered them a piece of poo.
Exactly.
That's where I'm coming from. All right, so when we come back, we're resurrecting something. We're bringing back This Week in Geek History. We haven't done this in, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years now, since our dear departed buddy Brian passed away. So, X-Men 97. They had something weird happened with that. I think they're mad about the casting, the voice casting of the characters. I don't know. The people are pissed about something all the time. Get over it, y'all. This is The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeartRadio.
Serving the Louisiana hobby and games community for over 12 years, Gopher Games has prided itself on offering the very best in personalized customer service, unique experience-based events, and premium amenities for our Gopher Academy members, such as after-hours private gaming space, full immersion RPG room, rotating board game library, and coming soon a video game arcade. So join the Gopher community at 4953 West Napoleon Avenue. For more info, go to gophergamesnola.com or the Gopher Discord. Gopher Games, where you got game.
Mata Hari, Agent H-21 is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H-21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H-21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
Listen to WRNO on the iHeartRadio app. Sponsored by Dudley DeVosier Injury Lawyers. Call 504-444-4444. That's 504-444-4444. Non-attorney spokesperson Chad Dudley, New Orleans.
Hello, this is Chris Walken. And if you've got a hankering for more cowbell, you can get it on The Week in Geek. Come on.
Welcome back in to The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I am your host, D Squared. Now, just a quick reminder, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio, the Instagram's The Week in Geek, and of course, you can download the podcast at your leisure wherever fine podcasts are freely given away, because I would feel really bad if we had to charge you for this podcast. But let's go ahead and do this.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future! Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Da-na-na, da-na-na, wow.
All right, so on this day in history, June 4th, 1982. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan is released.
Khan! Have you seen it? Have you seen Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan?
Nope.
What the hell is wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Giggity. What the...
Words.
All right, if you hadn't seen the first one, that's fine. That the first one was not very good, but the second one, I mean, come on, it had the guy from Fantasy Island, man. I mean, he was a badass, and they put little worms in their ears, and oh my God, it was such a great movie. Don't me. God dang it. It was a great movie, and it was great because then Spock died, and you had this great moment where you actually thought William Shatner could act. It was great.
Oh wow, hold on, wait, I might have to see this now.
Yes,
hold on.
exactly. And that started the whole, you got to resurrect Spock, and then you had to save the whales in the 80s. It was great.
Okay, you lost me again.
Okay, I know. Yeah, it went weird until we got First Contact with Star Trek: The Next Generation crew. So those are the ones you got to see. Wrath of Khan, maybe the whales, just because you get the lovely thing of nuclear vessels. They can't say nuclear vessels. Nuclear vessels. And then then First Contact was freaking phenomenal. Okay. All right, moving on. What else we got?
All right. So June 4th, 2004. Movie I'm more familiar with, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is released. The third movie in the franchise.
That was the one that was really long and dark, and that was when it really kind of I think that was where people were kind of like, all right, now we're getting into it, because it's no longer just like, ocular reparo.
Oh, Ron, how did you slip on that banana peel? People are dying here. Come on.
Not me.
Get serious.
Not Hermione. You. Let's play some battle chess, shall we? I mean, look, and the first one's so like they really brought you in. I mean, you felt like you were there for those movies. And I mean, God, like how many times have we been in Universal Studios now? Every time we go to Harry Potter Land, it's just like, yeah, we're here. This is awesome. And but like that one is really when people start dying, and then you find out more about his parents and all that stuff, and Padfoot, and then I don't know. I think that was really where we kind of like, yeah, all right, Harry Potter is where it's at, So, all right, what we got? What's next?
Next up, June 4th, 1989. The Game Boy is revealed.
What?
Yeah.
The Game Boy
got revealed. The Game Boy.
You know what's funny? I was. Wait, where is it? I gotta play this. I found this old clip, and just because you're my son, I have to embarrass you.
This is Name That Game. We give you a song and you
How would you play
name
this?
that game.
Because that's your voice, son.
I know it is.
That is you.
I can hear it.
That was you. Were like 7.
Name That Game is brought to you by Spirits on Bourbon. Find them on the web at spiritsonbourbon.com.
Yeah.
What made you play this?
Name That Game.
Because I just wanted to just play an old clip of you. But no, the reason I was saying that is because they had a couple of Game Boy. I was actually researching songs to play for Name That Game, and they had some of the old Pokemon games that was on the Game Boy, the theme songs, and I never had a Game Boy, so I never played it. So it was like Pokemon Blue and Gold or whatever the hell it was. I don't even know because I didn't have one. I was poor, so I didn't have one. But that's what made me think of it, because I was actually researching for songs, and I'm going, what the hell song is this? It was just all that 8-bit music of my childhood. The songs of my people, son. All right, what's next?
All right, this one is an odd one.
Okay.
All the way on June 4th of 1070.
Woo! Going way back.
Way back. Blue cheese is created in a cave in France.
Like blue cheese?
Yes.
Like the blue cheese
yes.
I love?
Yes, like the blue cheese you love.
Yes.
Way back.
Wait, when was it?
1070. 1070.
1070.
I'm not sure how they got a specific date, but
Well, look, it's the French, but if they know two things, cheese and surrendering, okay? That is our heritage, son. The de Cormiers of old. Oh, my, 1077, my greatest treat was ever born. If you want to know way too much about me, I eat that crap like cereal. I take blue cheese, pour it on croutons in a bowl, and just eat it like that. Yeah, judge me all you want. I don't care.
The stare I'm giving you right now is just
Shoot,
awful.
Look, the show's over, dude. We got to roll out of here. We only got 30 seconds. So,
oh, wow.
Hey, thanks for joining me in the studio. Hey,
of course.
Download the podcast wherever podcasts are freely given away. Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, and of course, follow us on all our social medias. And, the whippersnapper in there is going to whip me into shape as to, I don't know, I love your idea, man. I don't want to say it on the air because somebody might steal it, but for our TikTok handle, I like our new TikTok handle. So we're getting there, y'all.
In development.
It's all coming. All right. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
WRNO-FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.